Okay, so mm, we will be having our discussion regarding this. Ang topic natin, technological change. All right, this is a very interesting topic, no? Narinig niyo ba yung ano ko?
In an era of extreme polarization, it's really dangerous to talk about right and wrong. You can be targeted, judged for something you said 10 years ago, 10 months ago, 10 hours ago, 10 seconds ago. And that means that those who think you're wrong may burn you at the stake, or those who are on your side that think you're not sufficiently orthodox may try and cancel you. As you're thinking about right and wrong, I want you to consider three ideas. What if right and wrong is something that changes over time? What if right and wrong is something that can change because of technology? What if technology is moving exponentially? So as you're thinking about this concept, remember human sacrifice used to be normal and natural. It was a way of appeasing the gods. Otherwise the rain wouldn't come, the sun wouldn't shine. Public executions, they were common, normal, legal. You used to take your kids to watch beheadings in the streets of Paris. One of the greatest wrongs, slavery, indentured servitude. That was something that was practiced for millennia. It was practiced across the Incas, the Mayas, the Chinese, the Indians, in North and South America. And as you're thinking about this, one question is, why did something so wrong last for so long? And a second question is, why did it go away? And why did it go away in a few short decades in legal terms? Certainly there was a work by extraordinary abolitionists who risked their lives. But there may be something else happening alongside these brave abolitionists. Consider energy and the Industrial Revolution. A single barrel of oil contains the energy equivalent of the work of 5 to 10 people. Add that to machines, and suddenly you've got millions of people's equivalent labor at your disposal. You can quit oppressing people and have a doubling in lifespan after a flattened lifespan for millennia. The world economy, which had been flat for millennia, all of a sudden explodes, and you get enormous amounts of wealth and food and other things produced by far fewer hands. Technology changes the way we interact with each other in fundamental ways. New technologies like the machine gun completely changed the nature of warfare in World War I. It drove people into trenches. You were in the British trench or you were in the German trench. Anything in between was no man's land. You entered no man's land, you were shot, you were killed. You tried to leave the trench in the other direction, then your own side would shoot you because you were a deserter. In a weird way, today's machine guns are narrowcast social media. We're shooting at each other, we're shooting at those we think are wrong with posts, with tweets, with photographs, with accusations, with comments. And what it's done is it's created these two trenches where you have to be either in this trench or that trench. And there's almost no middle ground to meet each other, to try and find some sort of a discussion between right and wrong. As you drive around the United States, you see signs on lawns. Some say Black Lives Matter, others say we support the police. You very rarely see both signs on the same lawn. And yet, if you ask people, most people would probably support Black Lives Matter, and they would also support their police. So as you think of these polarized times, as you think of right and wrong, you have to understand that right and wrong changes and is now changing in exponential ways. Take the issue of gay marriage. In 1996, 2/3 of the US population was against gay marriage. Today, 2/3 is for. It's almost a 180-degree shift in the opinion. In part, this is because of protests, because people came out of the closet, because of AIDS, but a great deal of it has to do with social media. A great deal of it has to do with people out in our homes, in our living rooms, through television, through film, through posts, through people being comfortable enough, our friends, our neighbors, our family, to say, I'm gay. And this has shifted opinion even in some of the most conservative of places. Take the Pope. As Cardinal in 2010, he was completely against gay marriage. He becomes Pope, and 3 years after the last sentence, he comes out with, who am I to judge? And then today, he's in favor of civil unions. As you're thinking about technology changing ethics, you also have to consider that technology is now moving exponentially. As right and wrong changes, if you take the position, I know right, and if you completely disagree with me, if you partially disagree with me, if you even quibble with me, then you're wrong. Then there's no discussion, no tolerance, no evolution, and certainly no learning. Most of us are not vegetarians yet. Then again, we haven't had a whole lot of faster, better, cheaper alternatives to meat. But now that we're getting synthetic meats, as the price drops from $380,000 in 2013 to $9 today, a great big chunk of people are going to start becoming vegetarian or quasi-vegetarian. And then, in retrospect, these pictures of walking into the fanciest, most expensive restaurants in town and walking past racks of bloody steaks is going to look very different in 10 years, in 20 years, and 30 years. In these polarized times, I'd like to revive 2 words you rarely hear today: humility and forgiveness. When you judge the past, your ancestors, your forefathers, do so with a little bit more humility, because perhaps if you'd been educated in that time, if you'd lived in that time, you would have done a lot of things wrong. Not because they're right, not because we don't see they're wrong today, but simply because our notions, our understanding of right and wrong change across time. The second word, forgiveness. Forgiveness is incredibly important these days. You cannot cancel somebody for saying the wrong word, for having done something 10 years ago, for having triggered you and not being 100% right. To build a community, you have to build it and talk to people and learn from people who may have very different points of view from yours. You have to allow them a space instead of creating a no man's land, a middle ground, a creation and a space of empathy. This is a time to build community. This is not a time to continue ripping nations apart. Thank you very much.
Okay, so hello. Okay, so what a great talk regarding how technology is enforcing right and wrong, how technology is affecting our lives. So let's go back to what technology is. Technology is a set of knowledge, skills, experience, and techniques through which humans change, transform, and use our environment to create tools, machines, products, and services that meet our needs and desires. Well, what are the needs and desires of human beings? Of course, we wanted to have a happier life, a life we can move freely, that we can do a lot of things without any constraints. So, technology also makes our life faster and makes our staying up time very, very longer than the usual. Like for instance, we are neglecting the rest in our bodies. We are not anymore checking if our body is resting because technology is addicting. We wanted to embrace technology in every aspect of our lives. We need to open our monitors 24/7, so and so. So technology is about taking action to meet human need. It uses facts, practical craft knowledge rather than theoretical knowledge. It involves organized ways of doing things. All right, so this is what makes it addicting because it organized ways of doing things and it's more practical to craft knowledge. Ibig sabihin, we became discoverers of things like instead of doing this in manual way, we can use computers to make everything faster. So this technological change that we speak is an increase in the efficiency of product process that result in increase in output without increase in input. So with minimal input, we can have a lot of output from our devices, like by just having few knowledge, by just using mouse, diba? That makes the technology more useful. When the technology is very easy and convenient to use, people were going to embrace it, and the technology tries to get a lot of the technology tries to get minimal input, but it tries to provide to us a lot of output. And it is a term used to describe incremental change in the quality and quantity of knowledge and ideas that are applied in stream of activities to enhance social and economic well-being of the society. So, stages of technological change, we have innovation, invention, and diffusion. So we will talk about that. What are those parts? So we have here invention. Invention is the first stage in the generation of new ideas. So usually invention is not yet something that you create first. It's more of generation of ideas. So you invent things started on your mind, on your the way you think. So you think of a something that's a new idea, you create it later. So invention is forming a new thought having a potential to apply in economy. So that's the keyword, potential to apply in economy. So you have something that you think that will be useful for economic gain, or you will have a lot of money based of this, or it will affect the economy of the country. So let's say for example, the example of yung hammer. Yung hammer, nung unang panahon walang hammer eh. Gawa-gawa lang tayo lahat ng sarili-sarili nating hammer. Gawa sa primitive ideas. So may isang tao na nag-create nung hammer na hanggang ngayon ganun pa rin yung ginagamit natin. Pinatent niya, no? So ibig sabihin, inventions can be patented, and I think the patent is 20 years. 20 years siyang hindi pwedeng i-reproduce ng ibang tao. So ganun yung patent. So ngayon, pwede na nating i-reproduce yung hammer kasi yung hammer is it's more than 20 years already na pwede na siyang i-reproduce ng ibang tao. Ayan. So innovation is the second stage of encompassing the development of the new idea into marketable products and process. So innovation is the first commercial application stage of the invention. So like for example, yung Apple before. I want to always make an example regarding Apple because it's more relatable to everyone. The first generation Apple is cell phone is like magano nga tayo dito. So yung first generation ng Apple is ganyan ba yan? Andun natin. I have it here actually. Meron ako dito. So, ganyan lang siya. I think ganyan lang siya. No? Tapos meron siyang kanan. So this is the first generation of Apple. So this is the home button. Parang may square. So yung home button niya parang ganito yun eh. So yan. So yung first generation ng Apple, hindi pa nila alam kung ano yung dapat ilagay dito, kung ano ba, kung pabilog ba, katulad ng dati, yung pabilog. Hindi nila alam, but they try to market it kahit hindi pa nila alam yung pinaka-market. So, ang pinakatawag doon is incremental process, no? So, that's the first thing that they tried to do. They market the first invention. So, that is called innovation. In other words, after radical successful innovation, technologic change follow a certain way to define as technological trajectory. So ngayon, nagkakaroon na tayo ng ano, 'di ba, ng change sa smartphones natin. Before, yung smartphones natin for texting lang, tas a little bit of internet. So mas dati may Facebook, nauna pa yung Facebook kaysa sa ano. Pero nakakapag-Facebook lang tayo dati kapag nakaharap tayo sa PC. Ganun yun eh. We cannot do Facebook when we are outside the streets. Talagang focus ka talaga sa paglalakad mo sa streets. Hindi ka tumitingin sa phone mo. Dati, yung mga tao pa nga nababangga eh. Ngayon, sobrang advanced na tayo kahit nagsiselfone tayo. Nagsiselfone tayo kahit na hindi tayo nakatingin sa kalye. So that changes our lives. No? So innovation changes the way people are living in this world. And then diffusion is part where this is the product is spreading across the whole world. No? So this is increasing employment. This provides economic growth. Yung iPhone ngayon, ano na siya, diffusion na siya because marami ng taong tumatangkilik, hindi na siya sa US lang. And even also Samsung. So, tayo, if we're talking about in the Philippines, ano kaya yung pwede nating i-innovate, no? Sa ngayon, wala pa tayong product talaga na lumalabas sa market. Kaya ganon, kaya mas mababa yung ano natin. Pero syempre kasi may prerequisites yan. Wala rin tayong infrastructure sa atin dito sa Philippines. Kulang yung infrastructure natin. Doon mo kasi malalaman kung hindi corrupt yung government pagka sobrang daming infrastructure ang nagawa. So, it creates new product. Technological change creates new products and process, increase in efficiency and low cost, help economies evolve, decrease self-reliance. So this is a good trajectory when we're talking about change. This is a good change. No, because this 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be experienced when we go towards technological change. So what is the impact to our social change, to our society? So the term social change is used to indicate the changes that takes place in human interaction, interrelations, and social challenge, or social change means a change in the system of social relationships. Ito yung kanina, yung pinanood nating video. So it regards to the way we perceive right and wrong. This also affects social change because dati we are against same-sex marriage. Pero ngayon bigla na siyang nagiging nai-influensya na yung mga tao na mag-agree. Pero that I don't say na pangit 'yon. I just say that people are shifting their thoughts. So kaya lang naman naging ganun 'yon because there are a lot of celebrities na nag-out sila, tapos inaccept sila ng mga tao. So, yun yung isang example nun. And because of Facebook, Twitter, technology, social media, that changed the way we think. And also the politics. Yung politics dati, TV lang ang nagdidikta kung sino mananalo. Ngayon, social media na rin. Social media. Then also yung fake news on how we handle fake news. Before, accept tayo ng accept ng ano. Ngayon, medyo nag-evolve na yung mga tao. Alam na natin yung term na fake news. So, the good thing about technology, this is a product of civilization. The more people are civilized, technology will flourish in the society. So, technology and industrialization. Industrialization is improving our workforce. So the growth of industries to the process of industrialization. Like for instance, there are new industries. Katulad ng technology, nagkaroon na ng mga tinatawag nating freelancer industrialization. So people are becoming freelancers instead of going to the mainstream, which is finding a job, employment. So yung iba self-employed because they value their time, they want to work on their own time schedule. So that's self-employed. So industrialization is a term of converting in general terms the growth of society, mainly agrarian of modern industry, with all its circumstances, problems, economic and social. So it describes in general terms the growth of society in which significant role is played with manufacturing industry. So the way we manufacture things and goods, the way we sell it, also was impacted by the technology. Diba yung sa nature, gumagamit tayo ng drone to monitor the land area. Gumagamit tayo ng drone, nilalagyan natin ng internet kahit na gubat siya. Yung mga pag-spray natin ng mga fertilizers, drone din yung ginagamit, ganun. So hindi na siya yung manual. Pati yung mga pag-check ng mga fruits or crops, pagka bulok, sinasegregate na ng ibang robots. May mga ganun sa ibang lugar. So we have urbanization. So urbanization is making our cities smarter. So meron ng mga internet. Tapos we are converting yung mga rural areas to become more urbanized. But still, we don't want that to happen to all of our land. We want our land to be fair or balanced. Meron tayong tinatawag na nature, meron din tayong tinatawag na city for urbanization, for ano. So maganda lang dito, technology tries to become an impact to the urbanization of a city because it makes everything. Like for instance, yung mga lights sa daan, yung mga yung mga train station natin, computerized yan, yung mga kotse natin, computerized. So, pag pumunta tayo sa mall, nag-open kusa yung yung pintuan, tapos organized din yung parking lot. So those are the things that nai-impact ng technology sa ating urban city. Siyempre, may Google Maps din tayo. Siyempre, yung mga phones natin, pwedeng pambayad. Yan, example yan sa urbanization. And then, we have modernization. So, modernization is yung mga steps na lagi nating ginagawa. So, the modern ways of life and values. Dati, siyempre, pag nagkasakit tayo, dati magsasabi ka na herbal, ganyan. So sa modernization, hindi ganun. So we use technology to take on our sickness. change people's food habits, dress habits, speaking styles, tastes, choices, preferences, ideas, values, recreational activities, and so on. So ito example, recreational activities. Instead na pumunta ka sa mga labas-labas, yung recreation mo is games, di ba? Ganun. Kasi gusto mo sa bahay ka lang, mas tipid, mas safe, ganyan. People in the process of getting modernized give more important to science and technology. So we wanted to have a culture of modernization because this makes the people rely on science and technology. So scientific and technological innovations have modernized science in various countries. Like for instance, yung Japan, ang pinaka-example na sa tingin ko ng pinaka-modern country is Japan kasi lahat doon gadgets talaga. So development of the means of transportation and communication. So when we say transportation, may mga tinatawag tayong mga 'di ba, electrical cars ngayon. So yun yung mga nagiging ginagamit natin minsan sa pag-transport. Then ano pa yung mga pagtatrack ng mga parcels. 'Di ba nagagawa na natin yan pag bumibili nga tayo sa Shopee, tinatrack yung parcels natin ng Shopee app. So nalalaman natin kung malapit na ba siyang dumating. Ayan, pinakasimple na nga lang yung yung Grab. Nalalaman natin kung malapit na siya. Tapos we don't need to go to that place in replace of an extra charge dun sa product na inaano natin, binibili natin. So sa communication, it improves the way we communicate with other people. So there is a lot of applications that we can carefully communicate with each other without the need of going there physically. So that is very beneficial kapag ka nagkaroon ng pandemic, pag nagkaroon ng buti nga handa tayo sa pandemic, no? Most of us naging handa, pati technology natin handa. May Facebook tayo, may Discord tayo, meron tayong Google Meet, meron tayong Zoom, na kahit wala pa yung pandemic, meron na tayong nagawa. So, hindi na nahirapan lahat ng tao para magkaroon ng communication. So, nagkaroon tayo ng two types of new economy classes. So, we have there is the capitalist class and the working class. Yung dagdag, no? So ano yun? Yung two classes, yung capitalist class, sila yung mga nagpo-provide sa mga businesses katulad ng mga dati kay yung may-ari ng TV5, nagpapaano siya dati, event na pipitch ka ng ng idea mo, tapos siya yung magfa-fund. So yun yung capitalist class. Then yung working class, ito naman yung mga uri ng tao na nag-work. So sila, wala silang pambayad. So ang gagawin nila, their own time in exchange to their own time and effort in exchange to the resources. Yung capitalist, they have the resources to produce more resources. Then we have unemployment. Technology is the reason that other people are unemployed. Like for instance, yung may nakita akong advertisement kanina, sabi, panoorin nga natin yan. Hindi ko na makita. Lumabas lang kanina yan sa YouTube. Pero the thing is that sinasabi ng advertisement, sabi niya, what is your profession? Tapos sabi nung interview, I am a data analyst. Sabi niya, I'm a data analyst. Tapos nagtatanong siya, how much is the basic salary of a data analyst? Is it 60,000 per month? Tapos sabi nung in-interview, oh, yes. Is this job gonna be replaced in the near future by AI? Definitely not, sabi niya ganun. So parang may mga tao pala na na they are into to thinking na pag kinuha ko ba yung course na to, ito ba mapapalitan to ng mga AI sa future? So, darating ang panahon nga na may mga jobs na mawawala. Like for example, yung sa Messenger, yung mga ganon, yung taxi nga parang na-phase out na rin because of Grab. Parang isa yan sa mga examples ng unemployment. May mga nawalan ng work. So, sa government, pagka for example, na-automate yung mga process, mawawalan ng messenger. So, magre-rely na lang sila sa network tsaka technology. So yun yung mga example. Sa mga factories, dati, kaya sa Philippines, di ba, marami tayong squatter area. May mga squats areas tayo sa palibot sa Manila because dati kasi may mga planta dyan, may mga factory dyan na ang kailangan is tao. Ngayon, nag-evolve yung mga factory na yan to use mechanical and robots or program. So, na-unemployed yung mga tao sa tabi na tumira doon, nag-settle doon. Change to unemployment. At marami pa kayo sa tingin ko marami pa kayo na makikita. No? Yung mga small businesses na-phase out. Kasi ngayon pag hindi ka marunong mag-online selling, hindi ka masyadong kikita pagka nagtayo ka ng business sa hindi mataong lugar. So ngayon kahit saan pwede ka na magtayo ng business sa totoo lang. Kahit saang area, pwede ka na magtayo ng business. Bakit? Kasi kailangan mo lang ng internet para i-market yung ano mo sa maraming tao, yung product mo. Kasi yung Facebook, tina-target niya talaga yung mga sineset mo doon na sa affiliate mo. And then, of course, yung war. Yung war, of course, ito naapektuhan to ng technology. Like for instance, yung sa Russia tsaka sa Ukraine, di ba? We can actually see what's happening in the war. Although in reality, hindi naman natin nakikita yung mga nangyayari doon sa war. So we are informed. And yung weaponry nila siyempre advanced. So because of technology, ito yung problema. Lumalakas din yung mga warheads ng mga mayayamang bansa. Possibly, they can start a war in the future. So that's one effect. And then social institutions. Technology has profoundly altered our modes of life. Technology has not spared the social institution of its effects, the institutions of family, religion, morality, marriage. Yun nga yung sinasabi ng video natin kanina. Yung mga institutions na religion, nagbago, morality natin, yung pagtingin natin sa mga tama at mali, yung sa marriage, mas maraming, di bang, yun, civil contract na lang yung yung tingin sa marriage, hindi na siya sacred bond. Kaya pwede na yung same-sex marriage. Pero it's not naman the people we discriminate. It's the problem with the practice. So marriages are becoming more and more unstable because of divorce, desertion, separation, so and so. So there are things that affects our lives. It was not said here if it is good or bad. Nakalagay lang is may mga unemployment and war. Those keywords are bad. No? Pero this also improved by technology and affect by technology. So negative use of technology in society. Relationships can be harmed by too much technological use. Young people are losing ability to interact face-to-face. Technology is addictive. Yan. Technology is leading us to sedentary lifestyle. Yan, those are the bad things. Ito, sedentary lifestyles. The vast use of tech solutions likely result in poor social skills, plagiarism, and cheating have increased, while analysts' critical thinking have declined. Among the most dangerous effects of technology is obesity and less exercise. One of the most dramatic impacts of technology is the decline in the quality and quantity of sleep. Okay? So, positive effect of technology in society, predicting the air quality in cities within minutes, technology in the sea, open data for smart cities, smart cars, machine learning, uh, travels with AI. So, those are the key points in technological change. So, let's proceed to okay, close. Let's proceed to this part. So, aside from the given examples in our discussion, research more positive effects and in the technological change in the society. So, those are the examples of robotics, health, machine learning, agriculture. Provide these things positive effects. No. So, for example, robotics, your explanation was here. So, pagka lalagay mo robotics at yung explanation mo, yan. So this is not a group, it's individual. Ayan. So yes, you proceed with this one.